When we come back, chickens stage a desperate bid for freedom in Chicken Run. One brave attempt after another one fails as a plucky chicken named Ginger desperately tries to find a way to escape from Tweety's farm in a magical new animated film named Chicken Run. Using a distinctive animation approach that creates characters with engaging three-dimensional personalities, the movie shows how things turn frantic when Mrs. Tweety decides to switch from selling chicken eggs to selling chicken pies. Can a carnival rooster named Rocky save the day?
You know what they call me back home? You know it. The Lone Free Ranger. Isn't that great?
I knew it was possible.
Oh, it's possible, all right.
I knew the answer would come.
Amen.
We're all going to fly over that fence, and Mr. Rhodes is going to show us how, right?
What?
That's Mel Gibson as the voice of Rocky the Rooster, another revolutionary. He says he can teach the chickens to fly, and he puts them in training as the Tweeties begin to suspect something.
Mrs. Tweety, the chickens are pecking.
Here's a cartoon chicken version of the Great Chase in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Get it?
Chicken Run was co-directed by Nick Park, who made the great Oscar-winning Wallace and Gromit shorts, and Peter Lord, who is also a genius at this form of claymation in which real figures are moved just a little bit between every shot. The movie reminded me of Babe, with its mixture of whimsy, adventure, and sweetness, and reality, because just as Babe's fellow pigs go off to the sausage factory, the chickens here face a very real chopping block, and that adds urgency to their escape schemes. In a summer with a lot of inspired animation, here's another example of how this art form creates wonderful new worlds. I really like this movie.
I loved Chicken Run. I thought this was so funny. From the opening shot of the chicken foot, I was laughing. Chickens are funny. And I love that you could tell what the chickens were thinking and what their emotional states were just based on, like, the move of an eyeball or the flick of a feather. And Mrs. Tweety's dress had all these, like, chicken feet all over in the pattern. It was so good. I love that it was about vision, about perseverance, about hard work. I loved all the references to everything from Sweeney Todd to Stalag 17. And I love that I could sit there with my 6-year-old and enjoy this movie, and even have the beginnings of a philosophical conversation with her about what came first, the chicken or the egg.
Yes, because, which the chickens also are kind of baffled by.
Of course.
Yes, this is a great movie for kids because the chickens are extremely likable, and you really are rooting for them. And I loved everything about this movie. One thing I want to mention, though, we talk about claymation. Now, the original claymation movies involved pieces of clay that were actually modeled between every shot. You could almost see the thumbprints. But what they've done here is kind of next generation. They make a little articulated skeleton, and they clever it with plasticine, and then they have kind of a latex skin so that the creatures actually look more like the Toy Story 3D animation than they look like the old-fashioned claymation. Yet at the same time, what claymation gives you is true three-dimension, because those are real characters who are there, not just drawings.
It makes it more fluid and more dimensional at the same time.